Well, West Ham are surprising everyone. West Ham are, they're the surprise package. You always get a surprise package.
Yeah, you do.
And they are this year's surprise. Well, you don't always get one.
I have to say, David Moyes did an unbelievable job there.
Isn't he just?
I mean, apart from the last 20 minutes where Leicester looked like they might just get something out of it. But before, Messi, Lingard, he has just been unbelievable.
Do you know what, though? You kind of not... You're not surprised he's done that the weekend.
Oh, he's done it?
No, this weekend you're not. Before you're going, wow, and this weekend you kind of go...
I see what you mean, based on what he's done so far for West Ham.
You feel as though that's where he's at now.
But even when they scored that goal that was offside, West Ham, his cross that he put into the far post was fantastic.
He's on fire. He's in the form of his life. And if you look at the club he was playing for, and he came through an academy that produces huge amounts of talent. And you do get players, as we've seen throughout the years, that go on and maintain and stay in that team. And it kind of felt as though maybe he felt a little overawed in there with some of the big signings. Pogba, Fernandes has come in, you see Van der Beek come in. Going away from that situation and being a small fish in a big pond at United, he's gone away and he's now the man. He feels, I've come from United, I've come from England, I'm going to show you how good I am. And he's doing that. And I think that the move, this goes to show the loan system, I know it gets a lot of criticism.
Does it?
The loan system does. It's how it's used,
Who moans about a loan system?
I think when you look at clubs such as mine, Chelsea, who...
Oh, okay, they go above and beyond,
who perhaps abuse it. It's there to be used, and they aren't doing it, no one does anything illegal, but sometimes the loan system, can be abused. But this is a perfect example of how the loan system can work for, one, West Ham, the player, two, and also United, because he wouldn't be playing these minutes.
And also his value's gone up.
And England. Think about everyone has won. Doesn't always happen like this, but it just goes to show how the loan system really, there are examples of it working brilliantly, and this is a perfect example of it.
Do you remember when Leicester went on to win the Premier League? There were weeks leading up to it, probably round about here actually, with 7 games to go, where even you, other pundits were like, they probably won't win it. They probably, and it was probably the week before, 2 weeks before we went, where you went, they might win it. I'm now looking at the top of the league table, the top 4. And I know there's only a point between West Ham and your mob, and I know there's only 3 points between Liverpool and West Ham. But the way West Ham are playing, they had a few key players missing, including, of course, Declan Rice. I'm looking at that West Ham. They are they're loving life, they're buzzing, they're playing a wonderful brand of football. Yeah. Dare I say it, and I don't necessarily believe with football fans who go, we want to play the West Ham way, but they are playing the West Ham way. They're playing wonderful attacking, counter-attacking football, and they look like they're up for it. And I wouldn't bet against West Ham getting top 4. And if they, I know we weren't meant to start the show with West Ham. We'll move back to Spurs in a minute. If West Ham got Champions League football, I would put that up there with one of the greatest achievements.
Manager of the year
in the Premier League.
No, Manager of the year. Now Pep will get it probably.
Even if Pep did the quadruple.
Well, the Manager of the Year...
It's just for the Premier League.
It's just for the Premier League. A lot of people... And I understand if Pep does the quadruple, why people say he should win it. And, it's hard to argue with that. But if you're just going on Premier League, if David Moyes gets West Ham in the top 4, that is a better achievement than Pep Guardiola winning the Premier League.
I agree.
Now, I know that it's the pinnacle to win the Premier League, but no one thought West Ham would be anywhere near where they are. And I think that respect has to be shown.
Would you say that's the same if Solskjaer won at United?
I think Solskjaer wins it. He wins Manager of the Year.
Okay, I agree with that.
I would say that. It's United should be winning the Premier League. Again, it's a hard one to gauge that one. But United, West up against City, up against Liverpool. Well, really, they should be the top 2 sides this season, and they're not. Liverpool have
fallen.
Floundered. Yeah, but they
floundered. Is that the word you were going to use?
Yeah,
are you sure that was the word? Because it started with flounder.
Floundering, yeah, they're floundering.
You did use that word.
Yeah, but
any other words that could start with flown and then you change your mind with?
Flowers.
Okay, but that would be tough to get in there.
No,
they're flowers like they're blooming.
I don't know where to go with that. No.
But they are at the moment with 7 games to go. I think they're going to do it.
They've got a great chance.
Pocket, but they look great.
They've got a great chance. The one thing I will say, there have been games recently. This is the one. Blot is that they've led 3-0 in a lot of games recently. They dropped points against Arsenal. They come away hanging on against Wolves, and they were hanging on a little bit.
They had a shot right at the end.
That's
Leicester.
not a criticism. It's just a point that you think you can't keep conceding 2 goals like that, because against better teams or against teams that perhaps it's 0-0, if you concede 2 late goals or 2 second-half goals, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
But
But not only that, you don't want to get into a position where you need 4 goals to win a game.
No, but you'd rather your side be on the front foot. Well, I've said this before. They are my guilty pleasure this season, West Ham.
I agree with that.
Because they're a really well-balanced side. Now to be doing it without Antonio, who can only do that role, because there's no one like him at West Ham, but they found a way to adapt and change and deal with that. Declan Rice missing, another massive hole, huge hole. You wouldn't really notice it, you know. You didn't feel like yesterday
Not in that game.
that those 2 players were missing, but there's still a long way to go. But right now,
I think key for West Ham and top 4 is Jesse.
Right now, he's the one, isn't he?
I mean, you mentioned Antonio, you mentioned Declan Rice. If Messi's out, I think that's the biggest hit they could have.
Yeah, he's you can tell he's loving it. And I listened to David Moyes about a couple of weeks ago talking about what he's like. He must be a great lad to have around the changing room. And I think Southgate knows what he's like. I think he's one of those that, yes, he's going to add something to the squad, but also I think he's probably a good person to have around. He seems fun. Yeah. Doesn't take himself too seriously. There were periods in his career where you look at and perhaps feel, is he really going in the right direction, social media, that sort of stuff. But I think he's probably he's the sort of lad you want around the dressing room, keep spirits high, and mate, when you're on the crest of a wave like that, you need someone to step up. And boy, is he enjoying himself.